The new era in Miami continues, this time with two big releases. Bradley Chubb is on the way out, and Tyreek Hill, both officially released from the Miami Dolphins. Ladies and gentlemen, official news broke out with the Miami Dolphins. News after news after news this morning, with releases generating some cap relief and starting this rebuild that we've been asking for as Dolphin fans for over the last couple months. And this is something that Sully and Halfley have talked about. The rebuild is in place. You've heard rumblings, but it always comes down to, are the Dolphins serious? Are they actually going to go full rebuild, which is something that Stephen Ross has not done before. And this right here puts kind of the stamp on that this is the exact direction that the Miami Dolphins are going. And this is good because ultimately this is what we needed. But there was still question marks. Is Tyreek going to come back? Is Bradley Chubb going to come back? Is Tyreek Hill going to be gone June 1st? Is Tua going to come back? You've heard the comments now. The Dolphins GM said, that remains to be seen. We'll know something in the near future. This right here kind of shows me where we're headed and makes me feel great. Bradley Chubb, obviously released by the Miami Dolphins, so the Dolphins do gain some cap relief there. They lose one of their big time guys, but ultimately a guy that didn't pan out, a guy that wasn't worth the money we put into, a guy that we added at the trade deadline a couple years ago when we thought that we were probably going to go to the playoffs, win a playoff game, and contend for a championship. Ultimate disappointment, just like that whole 2023 roster, looking back at it now, right? So the Dolphins cut bait with Bradley Chubb. I think that's a good That's a good move. You get rid of that, get rid of the old, embrace the young. Now you have Chop Robinson, who's going to be given the keys now to be that sole pass rusher that they drafted him to be. I mean, obviously the jury's still out on Chop Robinson, but he was ultimately a first-round pick that you want to see him get more repetitions out there. Now the keys are for him. It should be interesting to see how he does, especially with the defensive-minded head coach in Jeff Halfley. So look out for Chop Robinson to have a big breakout season upcoming this year. And then Tyreek Hill, this caught me by surprise. I thought it was going to happen a little bit later on throughout the year, probably more around June. But they cut bait with Tyreek Hill as well, man. Tyreek Hill is a guy who came onto the scene once he became a Dolphin and honestly brought so much joy to myself and plenty of Dolphin fans. I mean, the splash plays were just ridiculous, almost getting 2,000 yards that season, winning the number one player in the NFL, all of those big time things, MVP candidate. The dude was just freaking electric and awesome to have around the team. But ultimately, the things got sour, man. Everything kind of just went downhill, and no pun intended. And it's time to just cut bait, man. There's no reason to keep a guy like Tyreek Hill when you're rebuilding. A guy like him who honestly went through, things got toxic really, really quick. And I'm glad that the Miami Dolphins look at themselves in the mirror and say, we are going to cut bait with these guys, even if we take dead cap hits and things of that sort, because the ultimate goal is this: rebuild the right way, strip it down completely, and take the hit. Sometimes you got to take a step back to take 2 steps forward, and that's what the Dolphins are doing right now. I mean, regardless of the money, you got to get the toxicity out of the building when it comes to guys like Tyreek, guys like Tua. I think about this kind of like the Phoenix Suns. Obviously, I'm going cross sport here in NBA, but the Phoenix Suns had a situation where they had Bradley Beal and Kevin Durant. They got rid of Durant, and then Bradley Beal was a guy who had a no trade clause. They pretty much had to buy him out and kind of eat that contract, which was terrible for them financially. But they did it. And then look what ended up happening. Right now, the Phoenix Suns are a top 6 seed throughout the 50 games throughout this season without guys like Kevin Durant and without guys like Bradley Beal. They went kind of the complete rebuild mode, kind of like what the Dolphins are doing, but it allowed them with a new coach as well. Kind of similar situation. They got their culture. They got their hardworking guys, and they're surprising a lot of people. And I think that's what the Dolphins are going to be able to do now. But you got to cut bait with all the toxicness that was in the building. Guys like Tyreek. Now the question is, what are they going to do with Tua? When is that going to happen, right? You've heard a lot of rumblings about that. But to me, I think Stephen Ross is trying to look for a trade partner here, probably going to pay some of that salary to take Tua off their hands. I think they're going to exhaust that avenue first And if it hits the fan and they're not able to find a trade partner, I think Tua ultimately will get cut or get released here. And that's what we're waiting on. I think that is the final step to show the complete official rebuild in the right direction here. He's the one that's left. Other cuts that happened, Westbrook Akine happened today, and offensive lineman James Daniels, another guy who was injury prone. The Dolphins cut bait with him, so it looks like Savianaya is going to get a lot more reps here, even though he was still a starter. But at the end of the day, he's kind of that guard that you're looking at to be the guard of the future there. So it should be interesting to see how things go. But this is a good day for Dolphin fans because things are just headed in the right direction, right? This is something that obviously you don't expect the Dolphins to be out here making the playoffs here in year one. This is going to be a nice little long-term rebuild, kind of 3 years, but this is how you establish a freaking culture. You get rid of the old, you start brand new, you strip it all down. And this is why I am excited about this news today. Bradley Chubb gone, Tyreek Hill gone. Thanks for the memories. I mean, awesome 2023 memories with that Dolphins team. As I mentioned, I mean, that was the most fun that I freaking had watching the Dolphins in my lifetime. I have not yet seen a playoff win since I have been watching as a fan. Hopefully the time is coming soon. And I believe it will, man. I really like what these guys are preaching, man. Really, really like what they're preaching. They're serious guys. I love their attitude. I love the way they're standing on business for once. This is unlike Chris Greer and anything we have seen so far. Granted, small sample size, but I actually like that they're finally standing on business and they're not wasting time. Why wait until May and June? And no, let's start this rebuild. Let's get rid of these guys. Let's get rid of the question marks hovering this team. Let's make it known to this fan base what we're doing and what the plan is moving forward. And that is exactly what Sully is doing, man. I'm freaking excited. On the other end, what are we going to do at quarterback? I mean, I'm hearing rumblings about Malik Willis and the Dolphins going after him. Obviously, he has Packer connections with Hafley and Sullivan. Listen, I do not want to spend $20 to $30 million on a guy like Malik Willis. I'm sorry. I mean, I know that might upset people because I see the Dolphin fan base kind of likes Malik Willis. Quite frankly, I'm not that big on the guy. I don't think he's worth that money. I don't think he is whatever people make it out to be. I mean, I'm sorry. He's not all that. He's a backup quarterback at the end of the day. That's what he has been. He's been that for a reason. Granted, he's going to be a starter this coming year, but I'm not down to waste time. Listen, we're doing a freaking rebuild. Do it the right way. Draft a young quarterback, right? Whether it's this year or next year, and let's start the rebuild that way. I want to start fresh. I don't want any part of Malik Willis. I don't think he's an answer, and I don't think having a bridge is worth it. You're just wasting time at that point. What is a bridge? If you get a bridge quarterback, then the rookie that you end up drafting, he has to wait, and then this rebuild goes on longer than 3 years. I want this to be a nice little 3-year rebuild reset type of thing. So hopefully, I'm waiting for that news, but I'm hoping that the Dolphins don't end up getting Malik Willis. I let me know what you guys think on the comments below. But at the end of the day, man, this is a good freaking time right now. Dolphin fans should be happy. Obviously, a sad moment to see guys leave, like these big-time guys like Tyreek. But at the end of the day, we're doing things the right way. Remember what I said. Got to take a step back, and then you take 2 steps forward. Shout out to Sully and this new regime, man. I'm liking it. Let me know what you think. Hit the like button to support the channel. Fins up, everybody.